And kuffar aren't Muslims. We're Muslims. They never thought how they became Muslim. They never actually thought that one day that their ancestors were actually Hindus, because every Indian Muslim believes that they're originally Arabs. See, we're not Shudras or Harijans. I'm a Qurayshi. I'm a Siddiqui. I'm a this or I'm a that. That's it, right? I can't admit that I was once actually the lowest man on the Hindu totem pole and escape that fate by saying Shahada, even though we know historically that we had massive conversion in India from the lowest caste. Why? Because Islam has always offered upward mobility. I mean, the Europeans, before they had America to go and get upward mobility in, because if you were born in Britain as a bricklayer, into a bricklayer's family, you died a bricklayer. And that's the way it was. You didn't go to Oxford if your grandfather and father was a bricklayer. You just learned how to lay bricks. When they went to America, they migrated to America, they said, well, let's get rid of all that nonsense. Before they used to do that, they used to go to the Muslim world. They were called renegados. See, before they went to America, they actually used to go to the Muslim world and they would become Muslim. And so you have people like Dens Dezen, who was a man from Holland who became the head of the Moroccan Navy. You have Ahmed al-Inglisi, who becomes the ruler of the Burigrig Dawla in Salah, and he's actually from England. You have Peter Lyle, who was a Scottish admiral in the Ottoman Navy, who took the name Murat Rais and actually fought the Americans in the War of Tripoli. And that's where Europeans went. They actually went and became Muslim and moved up very quickly in the ranks. Many of them were very clever, especially in the military. That was an area of upward mobility for Europeans in the Muslim world. We know some of the greatest Ottoman military people were actually converted Christians. And the Yenisheri, which were the crack troops, the special forces of the Ottomans, were almost entirely taken from Christian Europe. And Christians used to actually give their sons, because the Yenisheri were so well treated, made an immense amount of money in their military careers, and often retired as wealthy business people. So this was the Muslim world vis-a-vis Europe. So that type of Islam, Bani Islam, the tribal Islam, has become so prevalent. And so the reaction now is the reaction of tribal members. And this is the Jahiliyyah. See, anything that happens to us, we become Jahili people. Hamiyat al-Jahiliyyah. And so if co-religionists are attacked in Iraq, anybody who's a member of the tribe of Bani Amrikan is suddenly halal, you see, because all I want is vengeance. I'm not even thinking that they might be Muslim, or they might be a potential Muslim, because you have to be an active kafir. Kafir is active. It's not a passive quality. The ulama have never seen kufr as a passive quality. You have to actively be a kafir. You cannot be passively in a state of kufr. You can be passively in a state of ghafla, and that's why most of these people here aren't even categorized as kafirun in any real sense other than a legal sense that relates to burial and inheritance rights and things like that. They're actually ghafilun. And some of them aren't really even ghafilun because they're actually actively trying to find the guidance of God in their own way of understanding it. You see, I became Muslim from a Christian background, and I don't believe I was ever a kafir, because I never rejected anything I thought was true. And when Islam was presented to me, it seemed to me to be true, and so I accepted it. So what was I before I was a Muslim?